Hey YouTube, this is Risk Amusement Park Fan 62. Now you're going to see the title of this video and be like, what are you talking about? Well, this is something I decided to do, and um, this is a comparison between Scream 5 that just came out a couple of weeks ago and then Halloween Kills that came out last October. So let's get started between the difference of the two. Now, Scream 5 had a budget of $24 million, and Halloween Kills had a budget of 20. Now, so depending on how you want to look at that, you can say Halloween was the slightly cheaper one. Um, Now, it just depends on how you want to do that. Now, what they made at the box office. Now, this is based off opening weekend sales, ticket sales, which was $84.9 million for Scream 5. And then Halloween Kills was 131.6 million. So as you can see, Halloween Kills almost doubled the amount Scream 5 did. Now, release dates. Now, this one is important because this will show, like, did it come out near a holiday? Did it come out, whenever? So Halloween Kills came out October 15th, which was about midway through October, which was right around the time a lot of people started doing Halloween parties and stuff like that. Scream 5 came out in mid-January. So, so about that is you can see Halloween Kills kind of had the advantage there because it was gearing toward the holiday, where Scream 5 just came out in the middle of a slow month, basically. So now this one is going to be one that is unique because are there any key characters in both franchises that have been played by the same character um, by both? Um, First, I'm going to start with Scream. Um, so basically, the only ones who have played their key roles in the movies have been Deputy Dewey, um, Sydney, and then what was the other one? And then Courtney Gale Weathers. Those have been the three that have been in the Scream franchise through all five movies. Now with Halloween, the really the only major one that have stayed through Halloween has been Jamie. Um, so, um, so you can kind of see. Now I'm not entirely sure who played Michael in all the movies. So, so now I want to do something where I'm comparing the two movies themselves as far as like kills wise, like the most unique kills, the most gory kills, etc. So first, I want to start with the most gory kills. Now, with Halloween, um, that one's a tough one because there were so many. But the two that come to mind are the the interracial couple in their house. The husband got stabbed by 5 knives, and then basically the mom or the woman, however you want to look at that, got stabbed by a hot fluorescent light. So now the other one, depending on how you want to look at this, is the is the boyfriend at the end of the movie who basically almost choked and got his head like that on a wooden banister. Well, part of a wooden banister. Now with Scream, um, there really wasn't much of gore when it came to that movie, but the only one that comes to mind after seeing it is when one of the girls who turned out to be the killer, uh, she was, I think it was, I forgot who it was, shot somebody. And so you can kind of give the gore factor to Halloween Kills. Now, the next one on this is going to be unique in a way. And this is LGBT kills. Now, really, this goes to Halloween with um, the gay couple living in Michael Myers' house. And they got stabbed multiple times. And um, I mean, they died together, but now with Scream 5, there is one, um, at least lesbian girl. Luckily, she never died. She just got injured. Um, now, this one is going to. Are there any sexual references in either movie? Now, depending on your term of sexual references, um, in Scream 5, uh, the girl who is a lesbian, she was making out with another girl at a party. Um, Now, luckily, neither of them died. Now, in Halloween Kills, there really isn't much. Um, Besides maybe some sexual tension between the daughter and her boyfriend. But other than that, that's really about it. And maybe this one couple. But besides that, now this is one, the most unique kills. Now I'm gonna start with Halloween. Um, One of the women who was trying to shoot Michael, um, didn't realize it, but the bullet from the gun um, hit the car and hit her. Um, Now with Scream, I would have to say um, the girl who turned out to be the killer, um, which I'll put who she is down below. Um, as she was on fire, she tried to attack um, everybody, and the little sister shot her from the side room. Now, the last one in this is going to be, um, well, there's two more. The next one is going to be any references to other movies. Now, this one's going to go to Scream because they did mention Halloween and Friday the 13th. With Halloween, they didn't really mention any. Now, the last one is going to be um, are there any things that relate to previous movies? And the answer to that is yes. With Halloween, oh, that's not enough. With Halloween, it shows Jamie's house, um, and then as well as some of her background with Michael. Um, and how she knows him. With Scream, it's the house that we find out to be Samantha's father, who was a serial killer. Um, it was his house. Uh, they had the party in. Now, the last one that I just thought of is the most goriest kills. Now, this is going to be the one where this will be a warning. Now, luckily, I'm not going to show anything because I don't have the rights to either uh, franchise, unfortunately. But the most goriest kill for Halloween Kills, and now that you can kind of say this is the most goriest or the most creative, is at the beginning of the movie when the firefighters are going to go put out Michael Myers or Jamie's house. Um, Michael Myers stood in the flaming doorway on the porch, and so all the firefighters saw him, and so they had all these different gadgets, such as like a hatch and stuff like that. And so as they tried to get to him, it kind of backfired. Now, one of the ones that it was gory but kind of neat to see at the same time was they tried to use it looked like a saw thing. So as they were trying to use it, Michael Myers was so strong he kind of just pushed back and it cut through the firefighter's helmet and goggles and stuff. And of course, he used the hatch on others and stuff like that. Uh, but most of the others were mostly just with a knife. And like I said earlier, with the fluorescent light tube. Now, with Halloween, there really wasn't much when it came to gore. Um, but the only goriest ones you could see in the movie was when they killed the sheriff and her son. Now, like the sheriff, they killed in broad daylight, basically as she was running for her son. Um, Scream came out and basically stabbed her. So he they got in the house and then killed the son right there in the doorway. Basically, just putting a knife like right in here. Now, the other one for that, and depends on how you want to look at this as well, was when they attacked the little sister, um, Tara, at the beginning of the movie, uh, where they where basically they stabbed her like 5 times. A couple, one was like in the belly, a couple were in the back, and one went through the hand, so you can see the blood coming out. So depending on how you want to look at that, those are the most goriest ones in the movie. Um, Now, which franchise do I choose overall between the two? Now, that is a tough one because I haven't really seen the whole franchise for either one. But with Scream, I was impressed with how they did it. And then some of the newer stuff they incorporated into the movie, such as like, having gay characters, and how the storyline progressed, and so the person who you thought was the killer was not. Um, and how they brought back people like former Officer Dewey and Gail Weathers and Sidney Prescott. Um, and I liked in the movie how how Dewey was talking to Sydney, and it's like Sid screams out again, and she's like, "I don't want to come back to that damn place." And later you see her. So I like that sort of thing. Now with Halloween, it was more of I liked how they were continuing the story from the Halloween movie in 2018. So kind of like when you would see them in the back of a truck going toward the hospital. Um, I liked how they were basically telling the firefighters, "Don't go, let the house burn." Now with Halloween, I did forget to mention too. There was one that was gory as well, where it wasn't a killing itself. It was this guy who escaped from the insane asylum, or whatever you want to call that. Um, People were chasing him around the hospital, thinking he was Michael. Um, so the mother, Karen, basically was like, "Don't listen to him" and stuff like that. So he basically fell from the angle it looked like. It looks like it was at least 6, 7 stories, maybe 10, somewhere in that ballpark. And he fell, and then so when he landed, it wasn't just he just landed and died. It was he landed and he went splat. So his head got turned, and so that's the only other one basically. Now overall, I did like Halloween slightly better, but still both of them are great.